Hi everyone, this is Cherry Enchantress with Pixie Dust Tarot, and this is your daily dust for Sunday, February 12th, if you're watching 12th, right? If you're watching in real time, but if it's for whenever you stumble upon it, so it can be a timeless reading too as well. So I've been using the Final Rose Tarot leading up to Valentine's Day, and if you're used to me, then you know that this is a little saga going on. So find yourself, in the readings, or just take it as entertainment, however you like. You can get a message out of it or not, but it's my special daily gift to you. 3-card collective reading. Otherwise, I would just choose different decks every day. But right now, I'm using the Final Rose every day, kind of, and it's a bachelorette type deck, so that's kind of fun. It kind of makes it give it a soap opera feeling. So let's see what's happening today. The energies can be for a very particular energy for a particular day, or it can carry over. Sometimes it can be clues and hints to future events. Let's see. I'm going to pick from the middle. We have, ooh la la, the Queen of Mirrors. Oh, I knew this one was going to come out eventually. The bitch. It's so funny because yesterday I was watching The Bachelor with my daughter. Finally had a chance to catch up with her and catch up with our favorite show. And there was a segment in it which was called The Badass Bitch, which is, to me, I don't know, it was kind of, it's cool. Like, I get the concept. It's like, being sort of a powerful woman and getting what you want and not compromising and things like that. But the ladies that they used as an example, to me, weren't really in that category. And it was more of an annoying person. I don't know, annoying attitude. So that just depends. We'll see what that means in this deck, but yeah. And you know how there was a while there where the word bitch used for a woman was supposed to be some kind of compliment, and it's really kind of more derogatory, and so I think it's been replaced by goddess. Like the true badass bee is a goddess now. So I prefer the term goddess, where women compliment other women by using the word goddess. You go goddess, instead of the B word, which to me, it's not, we don't elevate ourselves by calling each other bitches. That's all I have to say about the matter. Okay, let's see what else. Ooh, and then you got the Bachelor. He came out again. Oh, by the way, my weekly reading and love message has come out, and pile 2 is The Bachelor. So if you stumbled upon this one, you might want to carry over to that one. I see how all of these different readings kind of connect. Let's see what else. A slab of meat. Okay, fresh meat. The Ace of Mirrors. All right, let's zoom on in and see what we get. So the Queen of Mirrors is the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords in almost every deck has kind of a negative energy. Not negative, I shouldn't say. An edgy quality. So it could be harshness or, over the top honesty, unnecessary honesty, harsh words. But a lot of times the Queen of Swords is a gentle soul. Like, it represents air signs. Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, so it can be a good person that's just cool and aloof and above the fray and doesn't dwell in the drama. But according to the Final Rose Tarot, the bitch is the ruthless queen that takes no shit, but she also starts shit. If you're on her good side, she's a loyal friend who will give it to you straight and offer sound advice. But if you get on her bad side, she'll cut you down. She's direct, blunt in her delivery, and gets right to the point. This leaves little room for flexibility, though she tends to place more value in facts, calling on her softness and compassion would benefit her greatly in her pursuit of truth. So this ruthless, sharp, direct, powerful energy, and a lot of times it's like the CEO, female CEO, right? That in the 80s we associated the bitch as the diva. I think diva is a good word. That's a better word than the B word. But the diva is kind of, but diva has a sense of glamour and drama to her. The bitch is kind of is hardcore. It's like a very masculine female, a female who is just very in control and powerful, but I think there's a bit of like, where there's ways where we could look up to a female like that. There's other parts of a female that's this much, this uber, this muchy, this ultra, could come from a lot of insecurities and over ego, like a big ego, and big egos are not necessarily, to me, the same as being a high level person. So be aware. I don't think this is you necessarily, but you could be dealing with somebody like this, or this person could be in the mix somehow of your connection or situation with the bachelor, with your person. It could be somebody who's controlling the bachelor. Ooh, it gives me a little bit, pardon me if if you don't like the analogy, but a little bit, how in 50 Shades, Christian had the older woman who taught him things, and in some ways I think she always saw herself as the dom. This could also be the dominant female, a female here who has dominant qualities. That makes a lot of sense. Now, a dominant female, that's different. That's taking on like a role where I call the shots here, buddy. You do this and this and this, So that I can kind of roll with. But to me, I only roll with those kinds of things in role play type scenarios. It's a way of like fulfilling a part of maybe a shadow side of yourself that you need to release and let go of. But I don't think it's anything that's really meant for like a daily consumption kind of thing, because it's too much ego, and if you want to be a more highly evolved person, you have to let go of all of that. But I think those things can come into play sometimes, just to tap into that 3D masculine energy, that dominant energy. Sometimes that's helpful and it works. But so the meat is interesting here, because generally speaking, women are the ones that are objectified as meat, or visual appealing slabs of beauty, for people to gawk at. But we have the reverse with the masculine too. And one of the things that I learned a little bit from dating on the social apps, which I do not do anymore now. I turned that off. But I never ever, it wasn't very successful, let's put it that way, but I did learn some things by talking to people. And this whole objectivity, the man using the woman for physical pleasure can be reversed so easily. Women do it to the men as just almost as much. I don't think equally as much, but I think quite a lot too. So it started to give me made me a little more open-minded. Like, you know what? I know in general, women are a little bit more of the oppressed sex, let's put it that way, for lack of a better word. But men can be in those shoes too. And there's some things that men are not able to express the same way as women when it comes to emotions and feelings, and it's not like they're allowed to act like victims, or to say that they're victims, or even if they truly are, there's more of a stigma behind that. So I can understand and for fairness sakes, there's been a lot of imbalance like that. The masculine out there too has kind of like taken their masculinity, some of them, and had sort of have made a distorted view of it, and so there's a lot of the backlashing energy towards that too. It's an interesting play on masculinity, femininity, male, female, and then gender and all around, or no gender, or no specific gender. Like what, there's a lot that goes into play in that too. So yeah, the Bachelor, though, he represents the divine masculine here. He represents the Emperor energy. He's handsome, and he's like, he has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he thinks a lot about love, and he's about structure and order and discipline and fairness and quality time for all. And he has a certain amount of power, and he offers his roses carefully. And I feel like it's interesting because in a connection like this, there has to be a yin yang, and it just feels like too much yang yang. And there's a yang woman and a yang man, and they're just it's not going to work unless somebody gives a little of their of one, or gives a little of that other, the opposing energy. There needs to be a softening on one side or the other. And traditionally speaking, the masculine is supposed to be in the yang energy, and the feminine is supposed to be in the yin energy. But if they want to swap energies, then I think that's okay. And maybe it's in a role play kind of situation, swapping the positions, the dom, the sub, the yin, the yang, however you want to see that. There's kind of this a play in the masculine and feminine energies. It's very interesting, very interesting. We're back into the mirrors again, and mirrors is all about the swords and mental energy, the stuff that's happening in the head, like head play. The fresh meat is talking about being on the brink of a breakthrough, awaiting inspired sense of clarity. A fresh prospect steps out of the limo and onto the stage. This brings to light a unique set of ideas, giving us the perspective that we're entering a new realm where previously untapped possibilities are now available. How juicy. So it's new ideas, clarity, breaking through, and information. And sometimes it feels like we have option A and option B, and then fresh meat comes and it's like option C. Who knew I would have a third option? I'd have something completely different. I didn't have to go with either of these choices. It could be something like that. Yeah, I feel like the Bachelor, for maybe most of the feminines out there, is kind of like this ideal, but sometimes they feel sort of an illusion. And when this fresh meat comes along, it's almost like this isn't an illusion. This is something I can sink my teeth into. Pardon me for saying that, but that's what it feels like. It's like, this is flesh. This is real. This is tangible. This is something I can actually deal with and be with and enjoy on a physical 3D level. Wow, so what is this all about for this day? So for some feminines out there, so for some females out there, you're really tapping high, strong into masculine energy. And I think that works really great in business, but I think in romantic situations, you know what else this could be? This could also be same-sex relationships. And in same-sex relationships, there's still a yin-yang. There's a masculine and a feminine. So even same-sex relationships, even if it's appearance-wise, you look male, female, emotionally-wise, there's going to be a yin and a yang aspect to your connection. And now I'm also sensing a little bit of a work connection, like a really bossy woman, or a boss, just a boss, who's a boss of a masculine who has a lot of power, or two very high-powered people that work in conjunction with each other. They may never meet, but they have similar roles that within a similar, in a same company or something like that. It's very, or could they could be in some kind of competition, but I don't feel a competitiveness here. I just feel a lot of power. I actually feel the softer power is the Bachelor, because he's fair. I think the bitch usually is not always so fair, and we have to be careful of how we want to present ourselves as tough. Like, you can be tough without being rude and mean, but you can be rude and mean if you want to. It's, ooh, I'm also seeing drag queens. Okay, so this is definitely drag queen energy, the bitch. And if you watch like RuPaul's Drag Race, it's actually like quite it's an inspired thing to have this energy, you know, to be able to insult, to be snappy, to be quick, to be smart, to be sharp, to be gorgeous, to be in high heels a lot of the time. But a lot of the masculines have the two sides to them, or I should say the drag queens have the two sides to them. They have the female, feminine energy, but with not losing that masculinity that's still, but with the female form and the female dress and the female shape, interestingly. And then they'll dress into their suit or whatever. Like even RuPaul himself, he's actually quite handsome man, and he dresses in a nice suit sometimes, and that presentation of RuPaul is nice, and so is his drag queen presentation, quite gorgeous, you know. So there could be something like that. I don't know, like some of you might be in a place or scenario where there's like a newbie coming along, and they are like joining this drag show or something like that, and you're like, wow, okay, this person's got a lot of potential. They're new meat. They're ready to join our crew of drag queens. Where did that come from? I don't know, but I had that on my mind yesterday actually, because for my birthday I went to Hamburger Mary's, and it was my first time to a drag show live in person. It was so much fun, and if you want to see pictures of it, go check out my Instagram. And it was for my birthday, and at that birthday party is when my sister gave me tickets to see the opera, and that's what I saw last night, the opera. And so yesterday I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, where are those tickets, and where did I put them? And they were in the car that my sister gave me in the middle of a drag show. So okay, so I'm everywhere, you guys. I'm a very eclectic person, you know, drag shows and opera, and there you have it. I mean, the world is a place. It's a potpourri of fun things to do, and living and enjoying life. And it's like there's no like real rules or boundaries. If it's you, if this is your authentic you, then you go with it. You go, girl. You go with it. So I don't know where you fit into this, but I sense that that I think it's about the genders and gender equality and masculinity and femininity and all of that, like having a new fresh attitude about that, and your part in it too, like, and realizing that you're both masculine and feminine within you, and how you connect and fit with other people that have both sides to them as well, and seeing both sides of them, and yeah, and or more than one side, but definitely seeing that yin and yang in everyone, the masculine and feminine energy. So I think that's the main thing that's standing out here for me today. I hope you like that. If you trust a pixie dust.